Shalom and welcome to our YouTube channel. My father, Jerry Golden, is the founder of Thegoldenreport.com. The ministry he was called into is to rescue European Jews and bring them home to Israel. My name is Joel Golden, married to Ola. We have two beautiful children, Eva and Jerry. I have been serving in the IDF for the past 20 years and finally found myself with a free schedule and the time to put into the ministry that I've been a part of all this time. Please enjoy our channel and don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as to support us on the Thegoldenreport.com. Okay, welcome back to another episode. As you can see here, I'm standing outside the old walls of the city of Jerusalem. This week, I'm going to take you on a tour of the gates of the old city of Jerusalem. It's something really beautiful, really special. Let me turn this camera around right here. This is the Jaffa Gate. Now, this part right here is the actual gate. It was built in an L shape as you go in to the left because it was a way of defense. Back then, that's the way they built entrances and stuff. As I walk around here, you'll see there's a gap in the wall where they put in entrance by vehicle, by cars. That wasn't there back in the days when they built this. That was added. Now, Jaffa Gate was named Jaffa Gate because of, and by the way, you can see the Tower of David in the city of, where the Tower of David, where we did that video a couple weeks ago. Now, the Jaffa Gate was named the Jaffa Gate because this was on the street of Jaffa that leads to the Jaffa port. And so let me go in to this entrance and show you how it is just to walk through the Jaffa Gate entrance. So here I am. This is the Jaffa Gate. As I come in, and like we said, it goes in and then to the left, and then you're going into the old city. So this is really something beautiful. This video, I'm sure most of you guys will enjoy this video. It's a wonderful thing to do, to come here to the old city and see this see these old ancient walls and this old city with all this rich history. Okay, now this is the new gate. It's called the new gate. Now they call it the new gate, but it was built in 1889. And don't confuse this with the new gate that's mentioned in the book of Jeremiah, where they talk about the new gate to the second temple. This is completely different. This is on the outside walls of Jerusalem. So they built this gate to make a better access from the inside the old city of the Christian quarters to the neighboring neighborhoods around outside the northern side of the old city. So now as you look down, it's really beautiful. This is definitely a special place to come and visit. Okay, well, I continue around to the rest of these walls, all around these walls, and get you some more footage of the gates around the old city. Okay, now I made it here to Zion's Gate. Let me turn this around so you can see how beautiful it is. So that's Zion's Gate. Zion's Gate was built in 1540 west of the location of the medieval gate, which was a direct continuation of the streets of Jews, also known as the corridor. 6 entry towers were erected in the southern segment of the wall, 4 of them situated in Mount Zion section. Now let me go in here and show you this gate as well as the Jaffa Gate. It also has that L shape, which was very common to use back in those days for defense systems. And as we go in here into the old city, you can see the inner walls of the old city. And man, this is beautiful. Okay, let me go on and get you another gate. I'm not at another gate yet. I just wanted to show you a beautiful view. I'm walking down the walls here of the south side of the old city. The next gate I'm going to take you to is right down there. It's called the Dung Gate. But look at this beautiful view here. And right down here in the valley was the city of David. That's also a very significant thing to mention here. So let me keep going. Don't want to lose the light. So I got to hurry up and make it down around all the other gates. Okay, I made it here to the Dung Gate, as you can see behind me. Now, as I turn around, I'll show it to you a little bit better. Now, it was called the Dung Gate for exactly what reason you think. It was used to bring, this was a gate they used to take out the dung and all the trash from the Temple Mount back in those days. Now, one thing that's beautiful about the Dung Gate is as you come in, I'm walking up here the street, show you. You get it's the entrance for the Western Wall, which is right there, as you can see. So it is a very beautiful place to come around here. So let me see if I can go around and get you some more gates. This is the Golden Gate. It's blocked off and it's hard to get to. It's the eastern gate of the Temple Mount, and one of the only two that was used to offer access into the city from that side. So I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the next gate, because this one is pretty hard to get up to. Okay, this is the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate, you can see two lions. Sorry for the construction, but the Lion's Gate, you can see the two lions up there at the top on either side. By the way, the Via Dolorosa begins at the Lion's Gate. Carved into the wall above the gate are 4 lions, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. So this is the Lion's Gate. Go around here, let you see it. Okay, now I'll go on and try to find you another gate. We'll go on to the next gate. This is Herod's Gate. It's one of the northern gates of the old city of Jerusalem. It is connected to the Muslim quarters inside the old city and the Palestinian neighborhoods. Situated outside, just outside of it, is the neighborhoods I was talking about. It is a short distance to the east of the Damascus Gate. So also another thing about these gates on this side of the wall is it's not a very safe place to be. So I'm trying to get through here pretty quick. So this is the Muslim quarters part of the wall. Okay, I made it here to the Damascus Gate. The Damascus Gate is probably the biggest gate and the most picturesque gate out of all the gates. Damascus Gate is also one of the main gates into the old city of Jerusalem. It's located in the wall on the city's northwest side and connects to the highway leading out to Nablus, which is in the Hebrew Bible was called Shechem. So anyway, this is one of the probably more beautiful gates, and it comes out also into the East Jerusalem neighborhoods, which is not the best place to be walking around. So I wouldn't recommend you guys coming out here unless you was in a group. But as you can tell, you have on both sides here, you have security watching over you. But that's about it for the gates. So it's time to get home and go on for TGR News. Let you guys know what's going on in Israel this week. Welcome back to another episode of TGR News, where we bring the Israeli news and give it back to you at the end of the week.
Shalom, shalom. Welcome to Israel.
This week they've opened up the Corona labs in the airport. You can get your results in 4 hours, which is supposed to help with tourism, which would be good. We need as much income and coming in as we could, right?
Yeah, they say it when you get if you're coming as a tourist and you get to the airport, they have a test that takes 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
4 hours, so that's not so bad. That's not near as bad as 12 days.
Exactly. And then you don't have to go into quarantine and everything else.
Yeah.
Also, this Sunday, after 2 months of this second lockdown of everything being closed, just Sunday, only some of the small businesses are going to be allowed to be opened up. The ones that have front side to the street and everything, right?
Yeah. So, one of the things that's so damaging to the economy, and people don't realize how important it is the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's strange, people go to work, they have lunch someplace, or they have business meetings, and not only that, it just occurred to me that because I have some friends in Jerusalem who have small businesses, and they're really hurting. And I said, they say no one comes to Jerusalem and no one comes to the restaurants.
Yeah.
People go to Jerusalem just to sit at a restaurant and have a cup of coffee and then take care of their business at their little shop. So without the restaurants, everything is. It's amazing how one little part of our economy can be so detrimental to everyone else.
Well, that makes sense, because if you walk down the streets in any city, especially in this country, and you count the businesses, you'll see a clothing store, and then a restaurant, and then some other store, and then a restaurant. Most of the stores, if you count percentage-wise, the highest percent would be restaurants out on the street.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Didn't think about that before. Also, this Sunday, 5th grade and up is finally going to be going back to school next week. So,
I'm talking now as an old grandpa. Ola, Joe's wife, my wonderful daughter-in-law, she sent us a picture of Ava in school in the 1st grade this year, right? Yeah. And just so amazing to me. I don't know. I must have looked at that picture for several minutes just looking at it because it was just such a blessing. Realize how life goes on, and everything's okay. Everything's going to be okay. Just if you believe in the Lord Yeshua, everything's going to be okay.
Amen. Absolutely. That's one of the things that now they're slowly after this past 2 months lockdown, they've started to let some things open, and so now the new cases is slowly starting to rise again. So they're thinking of putting us on a curfew instead of a lockdown from 7 at night in the evening till 5 in the morning. I don't think that would do anything. That don't help.
Well, it may. One of the main gathering points for young people is in the evening.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And so it's the bars and the clubs and all of the social clubs and all of that. So maybe that's there. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing like everyone else.
Yeah.
But that might be the reason.
This past week, there's 20,000 new unemployed added on to the 1 million already unemployed in Israel, which is a crazy number when you think the population is 7-8 million. So when over 1 million,
that really tears at our hearts. For years and years, we would help a lot of families in Israel. Not thousands, but quite a few. And the way we did it, we would go into the poorest districts in Israel, in Jerusalem. Basically, we stayed in the Jerusalem area, and get the social worker in the poorest schools who knew all the families and knew how the kids who really needed help the most, they would give us the name and address, and then some of them we helped for years. But hard times have come to us, and we're almost in the line now for someone to help us. So it's. This ministry helps a lot of people, and it just tears my heart apart. Things getting worse, just like Joel said, and it's just terrible. It's really terrible.
Yeah, it is. Well, one thing is this January, BB said that we'll start getting vaccines. And restated again what he said before because of all the conspiracies against the vaccine, that the vaccines don't have anything in it except for the vaccine, and it's not even going to be mandatory. If you don't want it, don't take it.
Yeah, but now they're trying to figure out whether they want it from Pfizer or Russia.
Yeah. Or also, there's another one. What's the third one? The second business, Pfizer, and I don't remember. I think it's
Pfizer is the one that most people seem to be favoring. It's hard for me to say I want to take a vaccine shot from Russia. I mean, I just have a little problem even thinking that way.
Yeah, well, they just signed today, actually, just recently. It was just on the news an hour ago that they just signed a contract with Pfizer, and they are buying 8 million vaccines.
That's good.
And then they said something strange, which I didn't understand completely. They said they're buying 8 million vaccines, which will be good for 2 million people. That means what, 2.5 doses of vaccine per person?
I don't know.
That don't make sense to me, the
math.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I can't understand.
But that's what they just said an hour ago on the Israeli news right now.
Yeah.
But one thing also that's good is they finally finalized the deal in the Knesset, and the hotels in Eilat and in the Dead Sea are going to be opened up, and at least get some more business going in, better for the economy. Anything they can open up is good.
Yeah, but also that has that little clause in it. Also, you have to be you have to be able to prove within the past 72 hours.
72 hours.
That you've been
corona-free,
or you have to take the test there. I guess that means something like the airport. You wait 4 hours at the border or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Or at the city limits or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as we know, Biden won the election. Looks like so. And I tell you what. When you know you've made a mistake. It was on Israeli news, talked about how the Palestinians were celebrating. They were opening bottles of champagne and firing off fireworks that Biden won. Abu Mazen came on TV and stated to the public that he was so happy that Joe Biden won. He's already working on a few talking points to work over with his great friend Biden about how to help him against the war in Israel.
And the bottom line is that he hasn't won nothing yet. Biden has not won. It's not over till it's over. And it's definitely not over. With all these lawsuits, and listen, there's no one I don't think there's no one in the world that doesn't understand that the Democrats are stealing this election. It's almost common knowledge. It's like if you think anything else, you're part of the conspiracy or something. I don't know how to say it, but the thing about it is, it's not over. I really do still believe that Trump's going to win the election. I really believe it.
Okay. The IDF is also already working just in case he doesn't win, and it does go to Biden. IDF's already taken security measures because it's very clear. I mean, Biden has stated it a few times, so they're preparing for Biden's intentions to reinstate the nuclear deal with Iran. So, yeah.
Just take a quick glimpse of what Joel just said. That's just one little shot of a long film. Every little frame of that long film about Biden all spells bad news.
Yep.
For Israel, spells bad news for the world. It means the total destruction of the United States of America. And everyone knows it, so I just can't understand it. It's like I woke up in a different world trying to figure out how everybody comes to these conclusions.
Yep.
And they're accepting the worst things that could possibly happen to this world right now. And when they know it's wrong, everyone knows it's wrong. I think it's praying time for believers. I think it's time for us to really get serious and pray. I'm talking about really serious seeking prayer. Maybe a little fasting might help too.
Yeah.
But we need to come to God about this.
Talking about the problems if Biden steals this election, what I think most Americans probably don't realize, the average American, is Israel is the front line of defense against terrorism in the world, for the free world, especially for America. If someone like Biden makes these deals with Iran and makes our position, weaken our position in the war against terrorism, America feels it. America will feel it indirectly. Terrorism, it's easier for them to move on into other places, like into America and everything. We're on the front line.
That's it. We've been on the front line, and Israel has been on the front line for the last 72 years.
Yeah.
So it's nothing new. And once the Islam takes over, Islam's the real threat, and a lot of people don't realize that. It's like they never read the scriptures. They don't understand. I want to bring your mind to a couple scriptures. Romans 9:13 says that, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Now think about that a little bit. And as you know, Esau is sort of Esau to represent the Muslim Islamic world to us today. And then again we read in Genesis 16:12 said, and he'll be a wild man, and his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of his brethren. Now that's a perfect description of the Islamic world today. You can't do business with these people.
Yeah.
You can God. They have a soul. Don't get me wrong, and it can be saved, and they can come to Yeshua HaMashiach and realize. This is what they have to do to have a real peace. The real peace that we all of us are seeking is in here. It's a personal thing. This peace thing. But anyway, it all starts like that. And I just don't understand why. This. It seems like some kind of there is a spiritual movement that's sort of convincing us to say something or believe in something that's going to happen that's extremely bad for us.
Yeah.
And when we can stop it right now, we don't have to accept it. We don't have to accept this, but somehow some kind of spiritual thing is moved around the world, and too many people are accept. This one's not accepting it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, something I just thought about talking about the spiritual movements and things, and in politics and everything, I've noticed, and I thought it was very strange for the longest time, that most of your American Jews, not Israelis, most of your Israelis is hardcore right wing. That's why you can look at our history, and it's very rare. There's one or two little blimps of a left wing prime minister, but it's mostly right wing. But in America, they seem to all be liberals. They all seem to be Democrats. And I couldn't figure that out. But first of all, it started making sense. Well, first of all, they're not here. So that obviously makes them the opposite of right wing, because someone who's right wing and Jewish would want to be in Israel. But another thing is maybe it's a good thing, and a little bit. I'm the kind of person trying to find the good things and stuff, right? Maybe it kind of keeps our I don't want to use the word enemy, but the left wing, the people who seem to be more against us than for us, in check, because those are their supporters and their voters, and they have to keep them happy, you know. So I thought about that for a while. Maybe there's something in that too, you know.
Well, I'm sure glad you made some sense out of that, because they're working for me. The whole thing about this thing, you know, it's like accepting things you don't want to accept. I'll give you an example. I get a lot of emails now talking about how they don't understand how Netanyahu congratulated Biden. Well, you know, I'm sure Netanyahu didn't want to congratulate Biden, but he's the head of state.
Absolutely.
But I think he made a mistake. Don't get me wrong. News media can't determine who won an election. That's up to the Electoral College. But so I think he was wrong by doing it. But I can understand why he did it.
Yeah.
And he also very quickly hooked right onto that comment, how much he loves and appreciates Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
So he was trying to keep his tracks covered, just being a politician.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I heard this week was, the arms deal with the UAE, with the United Arab Emirates. It's, as we know for a while now, it's a done deal. They're getting 50 F-35s and a long-range bomber that even Israel don't have yet. Smart bombs and a lot of other ammunitions. So that's the deal that's been made with the UAE. Let's hope it stays in good hands, all that equipment.
Yeah, and you can be sure that it won't stay in good hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the Arab world's continuously changing, and dictators are taking over, or Islam in one form or another, Sunni or Shiite or Alawite. They're all moving back and forth, taking over, and they have different friends and different enemies, and they hate each other and love each other one day and hate each other the next. And Turkey's a good example. Look at Turkey. Turkey's the most dangerous thing, I believe, right now in the Middle East, maybe in the whole world.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about Ezekiel 38:5, you're really look close at Erdogan, the president of Turkey, because he sure fits the bill. I mean, it's really getting bad.
I think he calls himself the king now, right?
Yeah, the king. Yeah. Well, he wants that Ottoman Empire, and that also means Jerusalem. He wants Jerusalem. Matter of fact, he's already said Jerusalem belongs to him.
Yeah.
He openly says that.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
When people really need to open their eyes and look at everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Well, that was it for this week. So don't forget to support us on thegoldenreport.com and join us next week.
Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Bye-bye.